Let's get into part two.
Are you setting up your child for future wealth, right? Those little things that wholeheartedly count. Are you showing them how to cook? You know, that's a huge life tool right there. Like if they start from, just to make like a basic 5 different foods. They know how to make rice, they know how to make pasta, they know how to cook chicken or steak, they know how to season it. They know how to clean it. They know how to make beans, they know how to make salad. They know that they can take one dish or one food staple, like they say your pantry items, right? You have your beans, your rice, you have tuna in a can, you have this other things that they can say, you know what, I can take this one ingredient and make either tuna fish sandwich. I can boil some pasta, um, and make throw some, not throw it, obviously. Throw some mayonnaise and some seasoning, and make a tuna pasta. I can add this to rice, if times get tough for them, they know, you know what? I have these staple items in my pantry, in my house. They can definitely maximize that. Teach them how to, another thing when it comes to food, how to read the labels at the store. Like there's two different prices, the price you actually pay and the price you pay per ounce, and how to, even divvy that up per serving. And it's like so many little things that they can do that you can teach them, that you may have gone through this. You may have gone through those tough times where things were in a pinch. So you're sharing that with them. All right. And then once they get their self, back on track, they are up on their feet, or they took that detour, now they're back on the road. Now they have more confidence and they can continue to what they want to achieve. Right? Because again, we want them to not just live a life where, I don't want to say that, to live a life where, yes, they are comfortable, they're happy, but at the same time, you don't want them to be stagnant. You want them to feel that they have accomplished something, they have meaning and purpose. And again, this is not speaking to everyone, because I know there are families out there or individuals who they just may have children. They may have children for the wrong reasons. And there's nothing, unfortunately, we can't do anything about that. That's their decision. But for those who are listening and want a better future for their children, these are the things, these are the sacrifices. This is what you sign up for. Like when you gave birth, or where that child came into the world, whether it's through, if you're the natural parents, mother, father, if you were adopted, this is the oath that you took. You are the caregiver, right? It's essentially, think about, and this is only because I watched this the other day, um Batman, right? We all know the story, no matter how many Batmans come out, different versions, version number 562. Um Bruce Wayne's parents got mugged and killed in the alleyway. Bruce is taking care of his butler, aka longtime family friend, of the father. And that's what Alfred did. He made sure that Bruce was equipped for the world. He supported him. And it wasn't even his own child, even though he did take out the responsibility and he did see Bruce as his child, or in a sense, right? Because it was his responsibility. Like that was, without Alfred, then he would have been lost somewhere, who knows, like in a system, and who knows how that story would have went. But just to, get back on the topic, your job is to support and be there for them and make sure that you help them to, tap into those resources, give them the opportunity to do better and to achieve what you may not have been able to. And that's like the best thing that a parent can want for the child. You see how much their child has done and is achieving, and it's just you breaking that generational pattern, because the legacy that you are creating, they are going to have that, take that legacy that you have formed for yourself and pass it on. And that's what it's about. And that's what I say in every episode. That's what it's about. But that's what it's truly about. You are leaving that legacy to try what it is to take that leap of faith, what it means to communicate your needs, what it is, to ask for forgiveness for oneself, what it means to have that self-love. It's so much that you can teach them, and none of it can even have to be tied to anything with financial. It's you teaching them what it is to be strong, a strong person, and stand in their conviction. That alone, that alone can make such a difference in the world for them. You teaching them that what they are worth and how they feel about themselves, and not worrying what other people say about them. They have their self-esteem, they have their self-confidence, they have their boundaries, they know who they are, they know what they want in life. That alone is priceless. And again, we came so long, and I say we, meaning as people, people of color, we have came a long way of, a lot with struggles, right? And so as time progresses and things are changing every moment, every day of our lives, why not teach our children how to be strong individuals, how to demand respect, to ask for more pay, to say, no, this does not suit me. I am not going to do this because you think I'm lesser, or I'm not going to do this because you don't respect me. These are very valuable tools that you can give to your child. Again, that is priceless, and everything will follow. You know, they get whatever it is that they want out of life, they will get with that simple, basic, internal love, confidence. If you're not able to do anything else, that will be something that you will teach a child. If it's something that you are not well versed in, if you are struggling with that, there are people, there's free resources out there. You have YouTube University of how to build your own self up, your own self confidence, your own self love, your boundaries, all the things I'm talking about for your child, you can do the same for yourself. And if that is the case, then you need to work on yourself first before you proceed with doing that. And this is an everyday thing you have to do, an everyday thing you have to do for yourself. And it's something that you just don't do once in a blue moon because, okay, no, you have to really be consistent in building your own self up in order for you to have those conversations with your your children. And this is again the ultimate way, in my opinion, that you can have your child surpass you in life with that last bit of what I just said. Having them have that confidence, saying no without fear. And again, if it's something that you guys can even do together, mother, son, mother, daughter, father, daughter, aunt, niece, nephew, whatever it is, it can be a family project, something that you two do together. It could be, direct. I'm not saying like it's like you take lessons and stuff like that, but it's over time. It's a process. And once you get through it and you see for yourself, you'll see within yourself how you would change. You'll notice their attitude changes. You'll you'll notice all of that. The way they speak, the way they carry themselves, the way you carry yourself, the way you will deal with situations is going to be different than what you have done in the past. It's it's a good thing, and again, this is going back to the last episode, taking that leap of faith. And this is all you have to do in order for you to have your children surpass you in life. You yourself have to take that leap of faith. And once you do that, you will make a difference, not just for yourself, for your child, your other the young adults in your life, but for the generation that comes after them. So I'm gonna stop talking now. And I thank you again for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please go ahead and share this out to someone that you feel that needs to hear this, because I know this message is meant for someone, and I want to make sure that they get this message free of charge, obviously, right? And I just want to make sure that, say that they are not alone. They chose this life, they chose to be a parent, and they may feel a little lost, but I can definitely say that as a parent, you're going to experience so many ups and downs, with what your child is going through, what you're going through. And this is a part of life. And it's all about perspective and how you choose to handle it, how you choose to see the world, how you choose what the outcome is going to be. Because you can determine the outcome in most cases, you can have influence on the outcome, but it all depends on what choices you make. You take the left, the fork in the road, you take the left road or you take the right road. So it all depends on what choices you make and how easy those that outcome, the process, how easy it is for you. Because again, I talked about this again in another episode where I talked about flow. And if it's something that you're trying to obtain for the longest and it's just not working out, and it's going to be for anything, you're trying so hard at your job and you just get resistance time and time and again. And I'm talking about over like, a 2-month period, or if you're there for at least 3 years, 4 years, and you just met constant resistance, then that job is not for you. It's not meant for you. You can take what you learn and apply to another position. And this is where you, again, you come into that leap of faith. You find another position, within the different department, a different company, um, or if you work even with someone else within a company, if that is an option, you have options. There is no reason why you should remain miserable where you're at. And the good side of flow, but I'd say there's a good or bad side. But the other end of flow, where it just comes so easily, and there is little effort that you have to do. There's like little sweat that comes, that breaks on your forehead. It's so ever easy to obtain it. And that's how your life should be. It should reflect that easiness of the decisions that you have to make. And also be in relationships. You're trying for so many years to make it work, and that person says they're going to change and they don't, and they just gaslight you, or they may, tell you some BS just to quiet you down. Then it's time to go, and that's again taking a leap of faith, because a lot of people who may have experienced being a long-term relationship, it's not really a relationship. It's not really 50-50. If one person is trying so hard and working at it while the other person just doesn't really care, like, is that how you want to live your life? I mean, some people have no problem with that, and I'm not knocking anyone who chooses or decides to do that. That's their life. But for you that is listening to this, what is it that you want? If you feel like you're so exhausted from trying to be heard, trying to gain attention, affections, to to seen as an equal partner, or whatever it is, whatever the dynamic is, you know, how has the relationship turned from the time you started it to where you are now? Again, that's going back to flow. If it's too hard to maintain because of the other party, then that is your indication that you need to let it go. In the words of Frozen, the movie, you need to let it go. And, obviously saying that on here, let's let it go. It's a process to letting it go, but this is what you have to do. You have to let it go. The only way to preserve your mental health, your spiritual, and your physical health and emotional, you need to let it go. Whatever it is that is holding you down in your life, you need to let it go, because that resistance is going to literally kill you. And we don't want that, right? We want you to stay alive. We want you to live your best life ever, to have every opportunity, because you're listening to this and you're not dead, right? those plans that you have for the rest of the year. We're halfway through the year right now, which is crazy. You still have plans. Summer is coming up. Anything you can do to help your child and or children, help them surpass you in life. And that's it. That is your reason for being on this earth. But again, share this out to someone who needs to hear this. I know someone get off of here like 15 minutes. This is what happens when you give me a mic. I can't help it. It's my kryptonite. Or is it? Anyway, well, thank you for listening to this episode on the Unbalanced Pedestal podcast. Go ahead and subscribe if you have not already. And go ahead and like and comment below and let me know what your thoughts are. Like, what have you done? Even if it's like the slightest thing. Again, show your child how to keep their room clean, how to do laundry, how to cook, how to save their money, budget, invest, um, you know, even use the computer, the internet, you know. It's like what have you done, the littlest things that doesn't cost anything. It could be showing them the simplest and the greatest thing they can have value, how to respect and love themselves and be confident in the way they speak, the way they walk into a room. So let me know. I'm very curious to know. And I thank you again for listening to this episode on the Unbalanced Pedestal podcast. And I will talk to you soon. Ciao.